again, friends and neighbors, or shall I say this afternoon.
Welcome back to Madden 22. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. It is week 8 of our Steelers franchise here, season 3, for those of you who are keeping score at home. We've got a lot to go through in this episode, so I'll go ahead and point out for those of you who are wondering, or who care, I suppose, we're probably not going to have any actual gameplay footage in this one because what I plan to do is sim until we lose and at some point also cover kind of like a mid-season update. And between all of that time spent, it's probably enough to where I don't also want to try and squeeze in a game. So, mock draft number 2 is complete. Now we want to look at mock draft 1 just so you can kind of remember where we were slated to go at this point. They had us picking a running back out of Notre Dame with the 25th pick overall. And if we look at this dude, just so you kind of see what we're working with, still don't know a whole lot about him that really matters. It says he puts an emphasis on protecting the ball. That's good. Doesn't catch the ball well, but he runs hard, avoids big hits following catches, and wants to take the ball to the house. So even though he drops passes, it looks like he at least wants to be involved in the passing game. His physicals aren't terrible, but that speed only being solid to good concerns me a little bit, but he might be like a power back. But if that's the case, then his strength being marginal to decent is also a concern. So I don't know what's going on there. And then here we've got he can pass block. He's got pretty good stamina, a decent stiff arm. Like, I don't think this guy is a first rounder, especially as a halfback. Like, if I'm taking a first rounder or a halfback in the first round, they better be an absolute rock star, and that guy is not. Now we're 4-3, so at this point we're still picking, in the middle of the round, and they still have us picking this stinking running back who I just don't see happening, but that's just the way it is, I suppose. Now, we don't necessarily need to look at anything else on the scouting front, but just wanted you to see that before we dive into some of the rest of this stuff. Weekly awards. Who are we going to get one here? Oh, Jackson had 7 tackles and a pick 6. So good for him. Now, what else? So we got a couple of negotiations. I think there was Highsmith who wanted more money, if I remember. Yeah, he's happy with the contract length, but nothing else. Now, he's 26 years old. Let's go. I'm going to leave the bonus and increase the salary and see if he'll take it. Yes, no? There we go. Not bad. And then Gladney, he likes the salary, but he wants 2 years and a better bonus. Like, I'll up the bonus, but I don't want to sign you for more than a year. Yeah, I think he's going to end up in free agency. 26 years old, he's a 75 overall. We can find another guy like him if we need to. So I think we just let him walk if that's how he feels about the situation. All right, now, scouting, weekly strategy. Last time we played these guys, we did a really good job stopping the run, even though our strategy was actually to defend the pass. So we'll stick to that. We've got to run the ball. These guys are not very good against the run. So let's emphasize that. Come on over here, and we will have that goal. Let's not turn the football over. Stop the run like we did last time, and let's get some touchdown passes. So we're going to be simming this game because we won our last 2. So we'll see if old Grant Crawford can put together a decent day and hopefully get it going. He just has not been very good this season. Some of it has been our pass blocking has not been outstanding, but it hasn't been terrible. All right, Jason Mcdonald. Get you better at pass coverage, I guess. Is he? How old is he? Yeah, I thought he was a rookie. I couldn't remember if we drafted him this year or the year before. All right, so now we got somebody coming back from injury. Trey Turner, my man. So we get better on the offensive line now, which could help with our interior run game. That's good. I don't think I need to really do anything, though, on the depth chart other than just make sure that he's in there, which he is. And let's do it. Come on. Now, after this game, actually, we'll probably go through the bye week and then look at standings and stats and stuff, especially if we lose. Well, we won. So that's good, because now we're going into a bye week at 5-3 and 3 straight wins. We get some rest. Then we take on the Titans. Ooh, man, we got the Steelers on the road in Week 11. I'm playing that game no matter what. All right. So for the bye week, let's see what the they're going to basically just ask if we're going to rest or if we're going to work hard, and we are going to rest. Let everybody get some rest. They get a morale boost. They get injury ratings boost. And now we've got some guys ready to negotiate. Mr. Gladney, you can go ahead and hit the road. Anthony McFarland, 24 years old. I'm going to extend here because we're probably letting go of Kalen Ballage whenever we get a chance to do so. I mean, this guy's not the greatest, but, you know, he's not a terrible option as an elusive back prototype or archetype. Let's do that and see if he signs for 2 years. Yes, he did. Nice. All right, that's good. Now, Robert Spillane. I like this guy. Now, he's not as high on the overall as I would like to see, but he's not terrible. Let's go $7.5 million over 2 years. He wants a little bit more money. I think we'll tick that back up 1 spot next time, and if he doesn't take it, we'll just let him go. We've got lots of cap room available to be spending on a lot of free agents if we need to. All right, we already. Oh, for weekly strategy, I don't need to do anything here other than we'll go in and we will put everybody in full pads this week. Since we don't have a game, going full pads isn't going to impact our fatigue level. They'll still be back at 100. So, all right. So start the training. Basically, you're getting extra XP, and the only thing that's possible downside is somebody could possibly get hurt. But if we look over there, nobody got hurt. What is this? Oh, offense. So offense and defense show up on different pages. I guess I just never really paid attention to that. All right. So in the bye week, we are past our practice session. We got some upgrades. Presley Harvin. Get a power upgrade. Probably won't get any kick power upgrade. Yeah, awareness. All right, Justin Lane. Slot. Nice. So he is 76 overall and 25. So, like there, if Gladney walks, Lane steps in and takes that spot anyway. You know, we're not really losing anything there, except just some extra depth. Quincy Shields, I want to keep emphasizing your ability to stop the run. That's what I drafted you for. Big, strong guy. I want you in the middle, just making it hard for people to run. Edward Evans. All right, he did get some kick power. Nice. Carlos Davis, run stopper. Usually with D tackles, unless they're like an absolute stud, I tend to just emphasize the run stopping because I don't expect them to get a lot of sacks anyway with the way I've got the AI sliders set up. Like, I give them better pass blocking ability because I feel like I get too many sacks by way of blitzes and coverage sacks or whatever. So, anyway. Terrell Edmonds. Let's go run support, I guess. It's the scheme fit. Why not? Is that it for upgrades? I believe it is. Okay. Kevin Dotson returning from injury, so we'll just go and make sure that they put him back in at left guard. Don't know why they wouldn't. Yep. Okay. That's good. And now one more. Who else is coming back this week? Nick Morrow. So he'll be in as my backup middle linebacker. And then let's go to sub linebacker and just make sure they didn't do anything squirrely there. It should still be Bush and Shover. Yep. Okay. Cool, cool. Now, what else? That's it for this week. Advance. See, it says top need, QB. And I know that they just do that based on the fact that, like, Grant Crawford, in terms of, like, all of my starters, is on the low end for his overall rating. But, like, that's the case because he's young and still developing. And, you know, like, we're 5-3, and we made the playoffs with him last year, and he had a really good season. So, like, why would I be moving on from him? Like, EA Sports, you've got to fix that logic, man. Jeez. All right, Spillane. What did I say we would do? Go up 1 on the salary. If he doesn't take this, we let him go. And he's coming back. This is good. We're going to have a lot of guys next season that I have a feeling we might need to let some of these guys go, maybe. We'll see. But with as much cap room as we have, like I'm starting to worry that we'll have too many guys signed and need to like cut people, but I won't have like it'll give me penalties because I'll still owe them bonus money or whatever. All right, now we are in the week where we'll play Tennessee. We don't need to scout any players. We're going to go here. Yeah, defend the outside run. That's probably okay. Need to go back here and put it back on full or half pads. We've got to do blitz counter because these guys blitz a ton. Again, half pads. And then finally, let's go get our 15 first downs. Sling it. I want to go back and look at how, what's his face, Crawford did in that win against Baltimore. We put up 34 points. So I'm hoping that he had a nice day with some touchdown passes, took care of the football. Let's go take a look. So we need to go league, schedule, team schedule. And where are you at, Ravens? Box score. We threw for 325 yards and held them to 217 passing. So that's good. We had 1 turnover. Player stats. All right, so Crawford, 325, 2 TDs and a pick. Sacked once. And he was 30 for 42. Take away that interception, and that's a very good day. So I'll take it. Najee Harris, 3 touchdowns, 97 yards on 18 carries. Not bad. Johnson, a nice day. Yep. That's all pretty good stuff there. Defensively, Schobert leading the charge in tackles. Where is Devin Bush? 2 tackles? Whatever. Not a big deal. All right, so that's a victory. Now I think we're ready to go take on the Titans, aren't we? I have 14 staff points. I don't think that's enough to get me the next one on that player personnel tab, so. Oh, we got a player upgrade. Couple of them. Bugsy the run stopper. Who else? Dan Moore gets 1. He's getting to where now, like, his pass protection at 70 or at 68 is close enough to his power rating that I'll go with the power to get him better overall. Najee Harris, sticking with the power back. All right. Let's go beat the Titans. What's their record? They are 3-5, so this is a huge game for them. They lose, they can pretty much kiss the playoffs goodbye. Be a hard uphill climb to get back into the playoff picture at 3-6. So, one more time, baby. If we win, we're going to play the Raiders next week, but then we're going to probably have to sim until we lose like 2 games to compensate for jumping back in and playing. Okay, we lost, so it's all good. We lost 35-30. Let's take a look at the box score. Dang it. So we're now, what, 5-4? No. Dang it. Wrong button. Okay. So, looks like we threw it well, but did not run the ball very well. Sort here. Crawford was sharp. 366 yards, 3 touchdowns, sacked once, and was 26 for 38. Najee Harris was okay. Just didn't use him a lot. I mean, or enough, apparently. Look at that day for Deontay Johnson. Dang, 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tackles. Never good when your best tackler is a corner. Zach Monroe, 2.5 sacks. He could end up. Is his dev trait unlocked yet? It's got to be getting close, but it might not be there yet. So we know that next episode, when we pick back up, we'll be taking on the Raiders, and it's a big game for them. We'll be on the road. We're 5-4. They're 4-6. They got a nice offense. We got a nice defense. That is a good-looking matchup right there. So, look forward to that one. Now, I will say our challenge that I can see right away, Darren Waller. We don't have linebackers that are really well built for coverage. Like, maybe Schobert can hang with him, but Highsmith, definitely not. So that could be a serious challenge for us. Let's look at the awards. This might be Crawford. Yeah. That's a really good day. So he's starting to get it on track. That's 2 weeks in a row with pretty good numbers. So we'll dig into that in a second. Tandem breakout on offense. My star's recent performance has inspired a teammate. What's going on here? What do we got? All right. Deontay took our last game over and couldn't be stopped. So, are you ready to see me go off like that today? Dude, you're doing fine. Just a matter, yeah, okay. So, Juju wants to have a big day. Now, he earned 2,500. Oh, Deontay earns 2,500 points. Okay, so now with Juju, if I get him 150 yards against the Raiders, bonus goal, touchdowns will give him a bonus reward if his goal is completed. So we'll try to get him involved, but it's hard to just make that be a part of your game plan. You know what I mean? Like targeting one guy specifically. I don't really like to do that. But hopefully if he doesn't meet those, it's not like he gets a morale hit. So we'll have to see how that goes. Now, Ray, I want to bring you back, my dude. 26 years old. That's not a terrible contract. I'll do it. Keep our wide receiving, group intact. I think he's going to take this offer. Yep. All right, so that's done. Kalen Balaj, you gone. 27 years old, running back, 72 overall. He's going to get worse. Anthony McFarland is already like as good as him anyway, so just let him walk. All right, what else do we got to do? Oh, scouting. I got to pick focus players. So what I need to do is save, figure out who I want to focus on by going in and looking at the players, and then reload the save file to select those three. So hang tight, and I'll be back once I've identified 3 guys that I want to take a closer look at. Alright, so here we go. I've done a little bit of research, and not only was I kind of looking at who I want, but also I was looking at who I think is actually going to be available. And as we go down this list, remember that these are basically ranked overall as far as where they're projected to go. There's, who was it? Not that guy. This guy right here. Josh Alexander, right outside linebacker. Cole Britton. I know he's at a position that I don't really need right now, but the thought process there would be like if he's there and he's the best player, we'll take him and like trade away Eric Ebron or whatever. And then finally this Daniel Minor. I want to keep adding to our girth at defensive tackle, and I think he's an option that could be there. So we'll say yes to that for our super focus. What I have found also is that some of those guys that you select for super focus, you don't like learn everything about them anyway. So it's just kind of like, what the heck? What's the point? But anyway, other guys that we were interested in are this dude here and this dude here. These guys are absolute studs. If there's a chance that we can trade up and get one of them, we might try that, but like I don't know. I mean, we probably have to give up a lot to get up to like top 4 in terms of draft picks to have a shot at getting one of these guys. And I don't know if I want to give up enough to do that. So it'll depend. Then other guys that we have some interest in are this Matt Clinton and Michael Olsen at right tackle. Dan Moore is doing a decent job there, but I don't think he's a long-term answer. And if we can get a rock star at with our first pick, then maybe we do that. Then we already showed you Alexander, and then we showed you the 2 corners. So those basically, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 guys that I would be interested in taking in the first round, really. And 2 of them that I know for sure I would have to trade up and get, being those 2 corners that are slated to go in the top 5. So lots to unfold before we get to that point, but some noteworthy tidbits of knowledge for you there. So now that that is done, we go on to weekly strategy here against the Raiders. Actually, no, we're not going to do that because we're going to do that in the next episode. Right? Yeah. Like, we've got some stuff here that we need to do before we get into the next episode, but it's all the stuff that we would normally do before we play a game. The last thing that I want to do this episode is go through and look at stats. I'm not really going to spend a ton of time going through. Yeah, I guess we will. We'll go through individual. You know, Grant Crawford has been a disappointment. He's pulling it together, but still, that QB rating at 84 has got to come up. The completion percentage I can live with, but I would like for it to be higher. And then it's the interceptions. Like, that's just too many. You can't have that many picks. It's basically 1 a game, and we can't be having that. Now, he's not getting sacked a lot, but, you know, some of that's because he throws it to the other team instead. So, rushing. Najee Harris having a great season, 781 yards, 9 touchdowns, averaging 5 yards a carry, 87 yards a game. Benny Snell doing a decent job kind of backing him up. Grant Crawford, 3 fumbles. I want to see him, get that in check. And then the rest of these guys are kind of insignificant. So, passing. It's the Deontay Johnson show. Like, we're not really finding anybody here that's putting up crazy numbers. Interestingly, Juju's got twice as many touchdowns, but he's got half as many yards per game. So, Claypool's doing okay. Najee Harris doing okay. Freiermuth, oh man, I want to get him more involved, but until you're the first string tight end, you're just not going to get quite as many targets. So Benny Snell has been a disappointment in the passing game. And then Ray down there, just 1 catch so far this year. That's no good. All right, defensively. Let's sort by, tackles. Bush is not at the top of this list because he missed several games, but he's having a pretty good year. So Fitzpatrick and Jackson, 2 defensive backs, tied for the team lead in tackles. Now for sacks, how about the rookie Zach Monroe with 5.5, best on the team? I mean, heck, TJ Watt only has 3. He missed some games, but that's not that bad. He's on pace for, 11 sacks, basically, which for a rookie isn't that bad. Interceptions, we've got 6. 3 of them for Jackson, 1 for Sutton, and then our middle linebackers, Bush and Morrow, each have 1. All right. Evans is 14 of 17. Now, I know I hit 1 off the crossbar. I don't remember the other 2 really. And then he's missed an extra point as well. But he's doing a decent job for us as a rookie. We'll stick with him. Punting, Harvin has been pretty solid. Netting 44.5 yards. 7 punts inside the 20. Only 3 for touchbacks. So that's that. And then we'll just look at team stats just to give you an idea of how bad our passing attack is. So if we look at overall offense and we sort the other direction, we're probably down. Yeah, we're down here in like the bottom 10. That's no good. And it's because of that right there. We're dead last in passing offense. We're running the ball well. We're probably top 10. Yeah, like top 7. Points per game, 25. and a half isn't terrible, but it's... Did I see that right? Yeah, 25. We're definitely toward the bottom. That's no good. Like, we're winning games because our defense is getting it done. How about number of first downs? We're doing okay there. But still sort of middle of the pack, where usually we're way up at the top in that category, if not first overall. Now, overall defense, we are 6th best. Against the pass... Wait. Against the pass, we are 1st. That is a huge improvement from, previous years for me. And we're not doing all that great against the run, but we're doing a good job keeping points off the board. Like top 10 in the league at that. Sacks, we are toward the top. Probably in the top 10. Fumbles, I bet you were up there. 2nd. Look at the Bills with 10 fumble recoveries. I mean, that's insane. Through 9 games. And then finally, interceptions. Hang on a second. Okay, so now finally, in terms of interceptions, we've got 6, which puts us actually kind of middle of the pack, but toward the bottom a little bit, so that's not really good. But our defense is playing well, and if anything, they are the reason we're 5-4 and not like 3-6, because our offense has just not been putting up enough points. Conversions, I don't necessarily care too much about. Same with red zone efficiency. We are doing a good job of limiting penalties, so that's pretty normal for me, especially if I'm playing a lot of the games instead of simming them. So that's that, and I think that's... Okay, so turnover ratio. Let's look at the differential. Where are we? We are +1. 11 giveaways and 12 takeaways. And again, it's those interceptions. We've got to do better at taking care of the football and moving the ball through the air. So even if we have to take a few more sacks to do it, we've got to figure out a way to get better offensively. So, we're in a good spot though. 5-4. We've got the Raiders coming up. It's a game that, man, do I want to win. Because we do not want to be 5-5, especially when the Ravens are already 5-5. A win for the Bengals would get them to 5-5. In fact, last thing we'll do before we wrap up the episode is go ahead and just look at standings. We'll start with the AFC. The Browns are 8-1, Dolphins 6-3. Then you've got Pats and Chiefs at 6-4. Then Broncos, Chargers, Jags, Steelers, all 5-4. Ravens 5-5. Then you've got Bills, Bengals, Titans 4-5. Raiders looking for a big win that would get them to 5-6 and keep them in the mix at this stage. But a lot of teams in that 6-3 to 4-5 range. That really makes it interesting as far as playoff implications with every game down the stretch. Let's look at the NFC just out of curiosity. Cowboys, Bucks, Vikings, Niners, Panthers. Not quite as many teams up there in that, category of wins versus losses. Seems like they got a bunch of stragglers down here. Let me go back to the AFC, though, and look at the bottom. Yeah. Bunch of teams at 3. I mean, like, these teams at 3-6, well, it's a long shot for them to make the playoffs. They're kind of still in it. You got a bunch of 2-win teams in the NFC, so it sounds like the AFC is a little bit stronger this year. So, anyway, that will do it for this episode. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?